Hello, welcome to Kampala Edge Times. I'm really glad to have you guys once again. My name is John Kenny. If you're new to this channel, well, if you are already subscribed, you already know that this is the #1 source of news, info, and trends. Most recently, we have been following the Kyambogo Guild elections that went on, and they eventually ended successfully and peacefully, but we saw NUP winning the position, although we are following one of the candidates, Mr. Okori Brian. And number of you have been asking questions. Where is Okori Brian? Has he given up? Because he had these things he used to speak out and used to say he has plans for the students and Uganda, East Africa, and Africa in general to improve the quality of the education status. And you've been asking, where is he? Is this the end of it all? Well, guess what? Today we have him on our show and he's going to answer all these questions. You're going to find out what are the next steps. What next, really? This gentleman who came up standing on the side of FDC dressed like Kizza besigye, rather Dr. Kizza besigye. What is he up to next? With me right here is Mr. Okori Brian. Welcome to Kampala Edge Times.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I am happy to be here again. Kampala Edge Times is home. I keep saying it is home. It's where we come to discuss various of these issues. Our journey to go contest for the election began around here as well. So we know that coming for such an insight is already good enough as well. So as a team, because Okori Brian was honored in the video, so there was a team called Team Okori Brian. They revitalized the revolution agenda and the rest. We are here again to listen to the very many questions, answer them, and forge a direction.
First of all, thank you for honoring our invitation to Kampala Edge Times. After this situation, maybe firstly, I have to ask, how has this election treated you? Can I ask what lessons have you learned from contesting for Kyambogo Guild elections?
First and foremost, the elections have been a nice process. The process begins right from the time you show interest as a team, engaging here and there. You literally see a big number of people who love the candidature. You'd see a big number of people who are sacrificing every day to make sure the agenda grows ahead. But of course, also you would also see those that don't believe in ideology guiding him here and there. So at the end of the day, I want to clearly say that that long time of politicking and vote seeking was a nice one. I remember having a big weight, but I lost weight through those rides and running or here on rallies. But most importantly, is the lessons we learn are that when you go to a contestation, you either win or lose. It's a constant. But for the democratic practices, we learned that even in the young people, some of these democratic tendencies are dying. By the way the process was conducted, by the way you'd see a very unstable electoral commission conducting the process.
Kindly pause. I have to pose you a straight question. And here is the question. Do you agree that you lost the Kyambogo elections, or rather do you agree that the NUP candidate won the elections?
I agree that we were outsmarted out of the process. And once you're outsmarted, the democratic tendencies clearly say he who is announced as the winner. And that is, if I did not agree that the NUP candidate won, I would have petitioned. But we would be discussing now, how did the win get to that direction? Because I am telling you that I was a candidate in the election, but I went to vote and I couldn't get my name on the register. The registered student of Kyambogo University fully nominated. I couldn't get my name in the register. In our own school of management, where we come from, because I was coming from school of management, you would go there and you literally see voting beginning at 11. And for the very first time in Kyambogo University, you'd see people voting per course. They say procurement students are voting here, BB students are voting here, microfinance here. So these nitty-gritties, and it only happened at school of management, where our stronghold was. You'd see a lot of violence tendencies running in here by other given groups of candidates, but there were no answers being given. You'd see a sham process about staffing, but I said, he who outsmart takes the day. So we were outsmarted from the process because we believe that would go the correct way to achieve the win.
And how do you define outsmarting?
Outsmarting means those that do what is right to achieve the win. They did what is right to achieve the win. They think it is right. It can be something wrong, but at that point, everyone's interest is how do I win? How the win comes is not the business.
Intriguing.
Yeah, you can discuss the results of an election, but if you're first won it, you have no issue to talk about. So when we saw this happen, we as a team said, retrieve. You cannot fight hard. You cannot blame students, that those that voted genuinely and expect us to win, those that didn't vote against, that voted against us. But the best is to allow that even when you're not guild president, there are few things you can do. Our principles were simple. We're not promising people a lot of things, but we're saying we'll join in the writing, in the dialoguing, and in the defying. And those things can be done when you're not guild president. Because nobody will stop you from writing, nobody will stop you from dialoguing. If I need to see, even if I want to meet the VC tomorrow, the Dean of Students about an issue, I can step to them and tell them this and this and this is it. For defying.
In what shoes can you step in at this point? I mean, you have lost.
No, at that point, we're going to rise. And that's why I said in my campaign, and our campaign, that Okori Brian will be the mouthpiece. And the guild president will be the student out there. By the time we are only asking to be put up front to go and deliver what the students will say. At this point, the students felt it wise through the results that were released by the Electoral Commission that the other candidate would deliver what? Let me say in a more better way. Definitely, I will, through our writing practices, if we are to write against something, we have to copy to the president, who will be in power by then, of the students. But of course, during the bigger majority of students and doing these things, nobody refuses you from going to address anything at the school of Kyambogo University, so long as it affects you. But the problem is maybe the protocol line, they'll say, but no, you have leaders. Use the leaders and the structures. Still, if you see us stop to use the leaders, that means they have failed. But even before we said I've failed, we'll use them. We'll write to them, write to the president and his team to make sure they work on the things right. So if you see Okori Brian at any time rising to move to a dean's office or a VC's office over something, that means these structures have failed.
And then after writing to the leaders, the current leaders, you defy?
No, after writing, we'll dialogue with them and say, it is true, we had an ideology, we're not forcing you to stand by it, but the issues are the same.
Intriguing.
So we are saying that we okay as a team, and that's why I accepted to come out in this interview to comfort the team that we are moving on steadily. I know it's close time to exams, we're moving on steadily. We're in the hiding, maybe trying to catch up academically here and there, because during our time of vote seeking, we're saying academics is priority.
That's right.
It was the first things first we're talking about. So as a person who has the lead of the evaluation agenda, would stand by that priority and doing a lot that we can do as a team. So about the results of the election, whether they are right or wrong, as the president has declared.
Okay.
We did not petition because we didn't feel it wise petitioning. But the grounds were clear. I started on the grounds. We would petition if you wanted. and then go and appeal if we wanted, because we had the capacity to do that. But most importantly, it is accepting that you have been outsmarted.
Maybe another question I can ask, and the viewers out there might be wondering, have you met the current guild president? Have you shaken hands? Are you in good terms?
No, the guild president-elect was a friend before.
Okay.
I knew him before. And I was checking through my chats yesterday and I got some messages from him. Hello, how are you? And that means he's checking on a comrade. For a long time not come out clearly to engage with the populace after the elections. I've not been to campus to engage with our comrades, but at least I have been trying to engage with the top team, people who tried their level best in fighting to make sure the election comes right. So, and I think as of now, most of them are getting stable and not very heartbroken, I'd like people think. But I'm going to meet the president-elect. Definitely I'll meet him. And if I deem it fit, I always don't congratulate people. It's hard.
Okay.
I always congratulate achievements. I don't celebrate. If winning is an achievement, it's not an achievement to me, because for me, our communication was clear that after winning, we have the bigger battle. Winning is the beginning of the fight. Join us, let's rise and go and fight.
Okay.
So, at every point, the guild president-elect, after swearing in, merits, will congratulate him as a team. Everything he merits upon. In the student's interest, we shall congratulate him. So you don't expect me to meet him to congratulate him for winning an election. I'll instead meet him and tell him the fight has begun. And that's why we say, a luta continua, the struggle continues. Go and struggle. Take on the mantle.
I like
From
this.
our wing, we'll be writing to him, dialoguing with him, and defying against him if he doesn't do the right thing. Because that's the best we can offer the 2,000 plus students who voted for us. That's the best we can offer to them.
Before I get to the part of congratulating you on the new position you acquired, is it in the entire Africa?
Yeah, true.
Before I get there, I would like to get a clear differentiation between when we go to Kyambogo. What's the difference between NUP and FDC? What is the big difference? I thought we are, I mean, both of you are fighting for change. So what's the difference?
In a very first place, sometimes say that political party engagement in institutions of learning are basically vehicles through which people feel the ideology can be inserted and they go deliver a win.
Okay.
NUP as a party has its principles it stands for. Same to FDC, the principles it stands for. I don't know the one that the NUP stands for, but one of FDC we know of democracy and the rest, and being the strong, defiant team, advocating for the right things. But people saw a drift between NUP and FDC, and that was the talk. And it looked like we were not enemies. Out there, I remember when we went for the United Forces of Change prayers, prior to the end of the year, we were there. And I was there with the NUP candidate, Kizza besigye was there with Bobby Wine. And we are saying our issues are the same. And again, we are saying the discussion shouldn't be withdrawn from political parties to reawakening the entire populace against the issues. Because as engaging, they said, when you're sleeping hungry, you don't sleep hungry as FDC, as NUP, NRM. So right now, the narrative should be awakening the entire populace, but there's no difference. It is true that FDC and NUP are opposition, but at the end of the day, the exact role is to awaken masses, to defend masses where they should be defending them. So me, I think there is no drift. We are a team of students. As of now, leadership in Kyambogo University is being led by purely students who may be affiliated to given political parties, but the biggest cause is students first, to make sure they deliver in the interest of students.
Intriguing. Thank you so much for that information. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Okori Brian was appointed a new position in the Africa Students Association.
All Africa Students Union.
All Africa Students Union. And he mentioned this early on 15th. We would like him to tell us, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, please tell us about this new position. What is the big fish here? Explain.
When I came to Kyambogo University to study, and even prior to the election, you really saw me actively in the activism of students in this country, this region and continent.
Mm-hmm.
I think some students of Kyambogo University and students of the entire country have to know that prior to me coming to Kyambogo University as a group president at UTC Elgon, was doing my diploma in civil engineering. I became national treasurer of Unsa. I went and became the treasurer of the East Africa Students Union. Then from there I became a representative of students of the All Africa Students Union, representing Uganda as a country, where I even contested and did win for the Secretary of Finance position with all countries all over Africa. Very many more platforms, the Commonwealth Students Union. So at the end of the day, that appointment came to my email, I think, even prior to the election.
Okay.
But I didn't have time to check through my mail because I was busy.
Okay.
So on that day after election,
so what does this position mean to you?
I was getting to that. When all those things came up, I checked my mail that day, the day you were talking about. I checked my mail. So when I checked my mail, trying to reply mails, I get an appointment from ASU with everything packaged in there, the ID and everything, and asked me to reply back, accepting the appointment. And the appointment basically as a special representative of the Secretary General's office in the line of students' rights and activism around East Africa. Delivers me a mandate to closely attach myself to students' unions because as ASU, we may not come to every student, but we will use students' unions like Uganda National Students Association, Kenya University Students Organization, Rwanda National Students Association. Those are the platforms that you associate with the national platforms. But it doesn't fail us from getting even to small nitty-gritties to institutions of learning where we can reach. So what is required of us is definitely to be that strong activist for the students within East Africa and all of Africa. So when the position came in that way, and I shared it to the people because it was important that they now know that there's a platform I'll be representing, so that if I came to a given person in Ministry of Education or elsewhere, they understand the platform I'm representing. They look like it is a cocktail, a few things. So our offices are in Ghana. Previous to this election, I think 2 months back, I'd gone to Accra, Ghana as well for the climate change COP27 pre-summit engagement. Prior to that, and that's when I went and got an award from the National Association of Nigerian Students saying thank you for our tremendous work of impacting youth and students all over Africa. So I think the good work that we've been trying to do, because the only way you can keep winning or getting good things on your way is through you serving diligently.
That's
the platforms have served diligently, have yielded us to this far. But all in all, this goal is to better our students' life all over this country. Because the issues are the same. What the student in University of Ghana goes through, the same as the one of University of Nairobi, and the same of Kyambogo University, Makerere University. The issues are the same. And most importantly is for us to deliver a strong solution to the issues. The last time in the East African Students Union, we delivered a very good solution of same tuition for all students within East Africa. Because there used to be this kind of international fairs where if you are from Kenya and you're studying in Uganda, you're seen as international. And so at the end of the day, they give you another dollars to pay. As I'm talking today, all over East Africa, this one is the same. You are recognized as an East African from the East African community. So with all those fights, it may not directly impact a student today, but policies can come to favor your son or daughter tomorrow. So we may not charge very fast to the positives that have come today or tomorrow, but all I know is that the new position that has come is a position of responsibility that will require a lot of diplomatic actions of moving up and down, traveling here and there to have a few things done. And I am working fast track to make a team and committee all over East Africa from these unions to help us execute where we are not. But that doesn't leave the students of this country anywhere out. I'm a Ugandan, I'm from Kyambogo University. I wish and hope for students of Kyambogo University the best, and so we'll try to use all these activities and platforms. If we can lobby as a team, maybe
Excellent.
get scholarships, because we've gotten money for many people. Lobby as a team, get a few benchmarking trips, because the best way.
Talking about benchmarking trips, someone was talking on the radio. Why don't universities provide such things to their students? Why do we see those things ending in secondary school? Trips, students going to maybe to travel around Africa, maybe going to a different continent. Why don't we see such things in universities? Do we have such plans at the All Students Union?
All Africa Students Union allows benchmarking to happen, even through the platforms of Unsa.
And how does one join All Africa Students
Every
Union?
student in Africa is a member. Just like every student in Uganda is a member of Unsa, and Unsa is a member of the All Africa Students Union.
Okay.
So
now I am rephrasing this. How is All Africa Students Union as an organization going to implement this in universities?
that is why we have structured strong. That's why I told you that we'll use the National Students Associations. As a group of Kyambogo University per se, you are a council member at Unsa. So if there are any opportunities that come, it is subordinate to you to pick up those opportunities and carry along with them. Why I said benchmarking trips and here, because I have been to a couple of universities all over East Africa. I've been to the University of Juba, University of Nairobi, University of Rwanda, and a lot of them. And that's why I came out and said the issues are the same. But benchmarking helps you to go understand what's happening there and what practice you can copy to here. You see, there's a lot of things to learn, but the question is, where are you going? And that is why we need to broaden this leadership to the international scope.
Intriguing.
And that was my talk. We cannot be looking at a national scope and a scope of within the university, and you think things will come right. Broaden your understanding, open up your hands to learn at the international scope, because there's no day that you will get to that level of benchmarking to a level of Africa, to a level of South Africa and the rest, if there is no platform that you are using. And these platforms have come. That's why for me, if there is an opportunity that has come, I will always bring it bare to the students, but most importantly through the leaders, because you cannot engage everybody. So the platforms will be there. Let's see how best we fast track our operations and the rest. So the students of Kyambogo University should now be more happy that they have a new president and an international leader in the same vicinity.
Excellent.
Who was formerly national, now regional, and now much more continental.
Excellent.
So we can merge our energies so long as it's for the good cause, principles.
Excellent, thank you. As we finalize, I want to ask you this final question, and I'm sure every Kyambogo student out there is waiting for your answer to this. What next?
What next?
Yes. What do we expect from Okori Brian?
What you expect from Okori Brian is more activism, more writing, more dialoguing, and modifying if need be. What next is leadership comes from God. I've won a couple of elections before. I've lost a couple of them before. So when something happens, you only open up your mind to the reality and know that there is something wrong that happened, or there is better that come ahead. What we can promise with Kyambogo University is that Okori Brian will be that model leader.
Excellent.
At every day. That will be sitting in your room, following, even post you being a student of Kyambogo University in the alumni, sitting and following and say, that was one of our time leaders. Of course, who knows, tomorrow we can be members of parliament, depending on how we have straightened our lines out there. And maybe I'm in education committee or the rest. Wherever it will be, we will make sure Kyambogo University grows, because that is priority. And that is why even as of now, we've been having students come, receive calls, those that say, we have failed to get the institution here and there, help. And the same cycle president, this and this is on. And I'm saying it's okay. Where we are having capacity, we're trying to help them. Because they should understand that we did contest in the election to use them to get to a ladder.
That's right.
When I came to Kyambogo University, nobody expected me to contest for guild. You get me? But because of a few consultation and engagement by people who knew me and knew other people around me, said, why don't you step in, contest and see how we better a few of this leadership. Let's stop this kind of yes-no leadership of the square and level. So us stepping out there to be strong will not stop. If you have been following Okori Brian on TV, on YouTube channels, agitating on students' issues clearly, we'll still do that. So nothing has stopped. So the next question is doing what we've been doing more and more. So long as God gives us life ahead of time, we are aware of a very big number of people who came to fight against us in the election, but on few principalities. Others are just jealous. They don't want to see you prosper. Others, so there are a lot of funny issues. Others are just saying no. But nobody has specific reasons that's why they don't want you to be guild or to go lead the students. So students have missed nothing because you're in the students. For the FDC chapter, being a party president of the FDC, a kind of FDC chapter, we'll have a vibrant chapter that will do its job right. We'll be there to make sure we do our job as expected of us, guiding on what we can guide. For all the comrades who stood by us in the election, who are not students of Kyambogo University and those are students of Kyambogo University, thank you so much. For even those who didn't stand by us, we're still going to prove you wrong. By performing, we're not guild president. So at the end of the day, it's a win-win situation. It's a win-win situation. We've overcome what happened, and we're strong as a team. So that's why I'm asking the team out there to be strong. Don't cry. You don't need to cry. We lost nobody's life. If someone that died in the election would be crying. Everyone is still safe. Everything that happens in an election, everything can be gotten the next time, ahead of time. So people have come down before and have come up. But for us to say you're already up, nobody came down. So since we are up, we're just going to go higher with a team that is willing to go higher. Our agenda is long term. It's not an election-based agenda. It's not a short-term agenda that looks at winning an election. It was more of a reawakening the masses to inform them that they have been the problem. Inform them that you come out strong to make sure things happen your way. You are the answer to your problems. Never think that your president will do for you anything. So if there are people out there who are yearning and waiting for a lot of things, even from the current guild president, they don't want to stand by him to go and fight for things. Nothing will change. The next election, they will still come with the same complaint of so and so did nothing. So that kind of so and so did nothing talk will only stop when you arrange your brain to know that you are the solution to your problems. You will rise. So our message is rude. We're still not going to be in a sorry mode to anybody. If you don't rise, forget. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much once again. Yeah, I think you got that straight from Mr. Okori Brian, the former candidate for Kyambogo Guild President, the former candidate for Kyambogo Guild Presidency. I'm really grateful. Maybe you can give us just a few final sentences. A few final sentences for the students both in Kyambogo and countrywide in Uganda.
The students of Kyambogo University, most importantly, because they've been our close allies in fighting towards a good cause for a long time. Thank you so much. May the good Lord bless you. Stand out to fight for what you believe in. Students of Uganda, I've been your national treasurer in the Uganda Students Association. We want to say Happy New Year to all of you. And those who are still home, keep safe and prepare to get back to school, because that's what's most important. Around the region, East Africa and Africa, our biggest outcry is to make sure we stand by you so that a few principles are worked on. So me as Okori Brian, my hands are still open. Come to me in case you have any platform to be helped in. I just didn't tell them I'm a board member on the Wildlife Clubs of Uganda, representing institutions of learning, higher learning and universities. So those wildlifers, climate change activists, come, let's talk. Let's see how we push your agenda stronger. So there are very many more platforms that we can serve students in. So that's why I'm saying, I think God just said the speed is too much. Okori Brian, reduce on your speed.
Intriguing.
And work on a few of these things. So thank you so much. God bless you. One Uganda, one people, what we stand for. And for our FDC team and the rest out there, we love you so much. Thank you for standing by us in this election. It was an inclusiveness campaign where everybody came on board, whether NRM, NUP, or FDC. So everyone who came to stand by the values of revitalization, what we believe in, I can assure you, one day you'll sit somewhere and be happy. You may not be happy today, but one day you'll be happy. And not very far from now. A few days from now.
All right, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you once again, Mr. Okori Brian. Mr. Okori Brian has been giving you his final message among many of you who were expecting to hear from him after the guild elections, that he didn't emerge successful, but I think you got some amazing message from him. My name is John Kenny, and I'm really grateful that you have been watching. I believe if you like this video, you've already subscribed. If you haven't, please do go ahead. And from me and the entire Kampala Edge Times team, I have to say goodbye.